Consultant for Life, welcome to this week's Mortgage Moments video. I'll have a new short video on a mortgage or financial fitness topic every week. So please make sure to follow my YouTube channel or visit the Mortgage Moments section on my website, Crowne.com, for the latest video. This week, I'm continuing a three-part series designed to help first-time homebuyers hit the ground running. Today, we're going to talk about foreclosures, short sales, and auctions, to see if we can make some sense out of the terminology and sort out the good and the bad of these properties. I want to start by acknowledging the appeal that these listings have. After all, who doesn't like a bargain, especially when we're talking about great big numbers like the cost of a home? The key is to make sure that you understand just what you're getting into when you start down this path. Let's jump in. Foreclosures. Generally, this describes a property that has been repossessed by a bank and is being sold by them, not by the original owner. The bank, now that they're responsible for a property they really don't want, is interested in just one thing: getting it off their books as fast as possible and for as much as they can get their hands on quickly. They're very unlikely to make any repairs, so these properties are typically marketed in as-is condition. That means that you'll often see them listed with a comment that says cash or FHA 203K financing only. That means that the selling bank knows that the property needs some repairs in order for it to meet traditional financing standards. It's completely okay to pursue those deals. Just be aware that you may have to be approved for a special type of loan in order for your bid to be considered. A quick note about properties that are being marketed as pre-foreclosure. All this means is that the seller may lose the property in the near future, but it's still theirs to sell, and that means that you're dealing with the property owner and not the bank. That brings us to our next kind of deal, short sales. A short sale means that the seller is asking his lender to take less than is owed on the mortgage. There's a couple of things to know about these deals. First, since the seller won't be getting anything from the sale, they no longer care about what the home sells for. That means they'll accept an offer from just about anyone for just about any amount. However, it's their lender who has the final word, and the process of getting a lender's approval on a short sale can take months. And sometimes the lender's answer is no, and they just foreclose on the property instead. Here's why. If the bank decides that they can get back more of what they're owed by taking the property, even after the cost of foreclosing and marketing the property, that's what they're going to do. But they aren't going to tell you, the prospective buyer, a single thing about their intentions. So more often than not, the short sale lingers, and then suddenly the property is taken by the bank. That can be very frustrating if you've been waiting forever, expecting to hear when you're going to be closing. There's another thing to know, and that is that the seller is not likely to make any repairs to the property after the inspections are completed. That's partly because the seller doesn't have any money, and partly because they no longer care, because it's a zero-sum game for them. That means you need to go into these deals with a true acceptance of the fact that these properties are being sold as is, and that you need to know that you have the money to make any needed repairs or updates. Finally, another popular type of listing is known as an auction. It used to be that these were advertised in the newspaper live events where you bring a bank check for about 10% of the expected sales price, and an auctioneer would literally call for bids and gavel a hammer. Nowadays, the majority of these are conducted online, but the concepts are the same. You submit a bid, and if you're the highest bidder, it's yours. Most of the times, you have 30 days to close. There are no financing contingencies. There are no subject to inspection contingencies. And if you don't close, your deposit is gone, baby, gone. But that's the least of it. You need to know that you're buying the property subject to any liens or attachments. You're buying it with any problems that it has. And most of all, you may be buying it with the existing owner or tenant still living in it. And evicting them is your problem. I'm not saying that every auction is a bad proposition, because that's not the case. What I am saying is that you need to go into these with way more due diligence and caution to ensure that you don't catch a tiger by the tail. Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching, and remember always that I'm here every day to help solve the problems that living life on life's terms sends your way. Keep my number close by so that you can reach me anytime you need my help, or anytime someone you care about needs someone who will care about them as much as I care about you. See you next week.